Hello, folks, and welcome to another whatever market analysis. Let us by Inspocrypto. That's it. I need to be very careful because this market is really at the moment crazy. I have mentioned yesterday in my analysis I was expecting to go down to 20,700. Just before I went to bed, I just detected some bigger inflow activity related to centralized exchanges, mainly spot. So I thought, okay, when I'm going to wake up, I'm sure we'll be there. It happened. After that, it bounced. What did I say yesterday? We will have another leg up. Something, I mean, I was struggling a little bit with the CPI. Even I know many people were saying the CPI is going, it's going to decline. Even then, now some people are saying, well, everything is done. Soon the Fed will print again. I really don't know. I mean, I know you guys are not economists. Many of you at least. Maybe few of you are. But don't take the wording of others and just repeat it. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. The inflation problem and issue is not done. First of all, we have a food disruption, food supply disruption. Energy, transitory. OPEC Plus agreed that they want to rise the production of oil for maximum 1 to 2 months. So in September, usually, we should start to see a rising oil price. Usually. I didn't check the chart yet, to be honest. On the other side, the Fed is not going to stop the QT reduction. So they are going to still sell assets and reduce their balances. That's part of it. Their goal is not to say, oh, look, inflation is declining now by 0. I don't know, 6%, 0.6%. Oh, look, that's crazy. Let us print again. No, they have, and they were very, very transparent. They said, and that's the main goal of every central bank, is to maintain inflation at 2%, just to avoid deflation and to have a controllable inflation. And that's what they are doing, and that's what they said. That's everything. That's their goal. We still have 8.5%. We have a gap of 6.5%. Do you really think that the Fed is going to crash their own work and to say, let us now print again? I mean, many of you are not economists, and that's absolutely fine. But don't use the wordings, don't use the wrong knowledge of many experts out there, because on Twitter you don't need any education, certification, or whatever, just to tell whatever you want. And I see many people. Now, I'm not in particular now denouncing anybody. I'm just saying I'm reading Twitter, not only my followers, in seeing that many people have wrong expectations. We know what the OPEC Plus agreed, and we know it's transitory. Means, of course, they as soon as the oil supply rise while their demand maintains equal or even it's declining, means the prices will go down. Right? More supply, less demand. What happens with the price? It goes down. So, but what will happen after September when they start to decline their production again? What do you think? September, October? Well, we'll see what's happening then with the demand. If the demand starts to rise again, the price will go up. Anas, that's one expert in the oil industry. He is here on Twitter. I was in the last Twitter space, and that was extremely interesting. He is expecting $110 per barrel. Means we will go up again. What do you think will happen with inflation? And do you think the Fed doesn't know about that? Do you really think the Fed will say, cool, we declined by 0.5%? Let us print again. Do you know what? Let us, we make it now in a different way. We are going to invert the QT reduction. We will buy more stocks now. Let us buy more assets. Why? They know that's transitory. They know inflation is going back. And they even said what that's their goal, because that's the goal of every central bank. Maintain inflation controllable. You can control inflation if it maintains at 2%, 2 to the 2 to the 5, whatever, to avoid the risk to shift to a deflation. And that's a nightmare for every monetary politician, for everyone. Deflation, it's hardcore. We need to talk to some followers from Japan. They know exactly what it means to fight deflation. And that's the problem. We still have 6.5% more inflation than what the Fed wants. So they will fight that. They will hike rates, maybe not 75 bps or 100 bps. Many persons were expecting such kind, but 50. However, they will start to rise their reduction of assets and their balances. They said from September on, we will start to sell 60 billion per month. And that's big. That's really big. So we will see. We have many different data. We still have a disruption in the supply chain. We have still, if we take a look, nothing big have changed. The only thing is we have on the geopolitical stage even more conflicts and more problems. And many of them are very sensitive. We have seen that even the rhetoric of China hitting, for example, also Taiwan have changed. We know that India is going to make some drills with the US on the borders to China. We know we have some tensions with Iran. Some people and followers said, well, that's a pattern. We have that every year. Yeah, but since then, many things have changed. Absolutely everything have changed. Not about Russia-Ukraine conflict. The whole constellation has changed. And that's something that I think many people don't have in mind. And I just give you this tip: be very careful. At any time can happen something, and that can have a huge impact to the markets. We shouldn't forget while Elon Musk and Larry Fink, for example, is selling their own stocks. Nobody is going to do that if they are expecting the next bull run is front of the door. Do you think they will miss that opportunity? No. September, you will remember. So, let us go forward. Let us check what's happening here. As you see, I was really pissed off with CQ. They changed again everything. It makes the whole weights ratio data absolutely useless, in my opinion. Look that. They changed absolutely everything. Now it looks like we had 37% before they changed anything. I can't use this data anymore. I don't know what's true, because maybe tomorrow they will change it again. And that hurts, because weights ratio was so useful, and I need to recheck everything. I need to check what CryptoQuant is doing, but unfortunately with that very dynamic changes in their data models, it seems, because the Wills ratio, it's not complicated. It's a very trivial metric. But you see that. I mean, that wasn't before. That wasn't before. Now, I mean, look there. That even it doesn't make any sense. Absolutely, it doesn't make any sense what they are doing here. So unfortunately, I can't use the Wills ratio 30 days moving average anymore. I need to recheck everything, but first of all, before I start to analyze this new patterns here, I need to be sure they are not going to change the whole model behind next week again, because otherwise I'm just wasting time. So we will see. However, also here they changed a lot, because since you can see that even the font has changed, so they are changing something. I don't know exactly what they are doing, but right now the stablecoin supply is not showing up anymore. We can't see that. Usually if I refresh here, it should happen. Let us refresh the whole site. But that's really sad. Really sad. And as an analyst, I have to say that, to be honest, they are forcing me to use another app, because that's at the moment really pain. I mean, I'm still expecting they are going to remove my official CryptoQuant author account, because they mentioned that. I have tweeted about that. So, however, if that's the case, that's fine. But at the moment, it's really hard. Look that. I mean, we can't track this supply anymore. We just know that stablecoin reserves on exchanges lifted up, declined. It seems some money is coming back. I'm not sure. That looks a little bit like exchanges are refilling, or some exchange is refilling their reserves right now. At the same time, we can see here that the Wales ratio 30 hours moving average up, down, up, down, up, and right now it seems it wants to go down again. So we will see at the moment at or even above of 90, indicating that's really high, indicating they want to sell. Even the net flow here is indicating more spot activity, more spots coming in. And yeah, I mean, even here, that's the Wells ratio of the current hour, 94, indicating almost all big, or at least all big inflows coming from Wales. And 95%, that's really huge. That's really big. So, but on the other side, it makes sense. It makes sense that the Wales ratio is lifting up, because we are again at 24K, and they have started to distribute the 24K. I think that's going to happen again. However, my upper trend line is indicating 25K, so that should be the next step. So what we see here is yesterday night, just before I went to bed, I just have detected that they sent almost 6,000 bitcoins. And you remember I have said 22,600 or 22,700 would be my local bottom before we will go up. And I have said, in my opinion, we will make maybe, and we need to see how the market reacts at 25K, but maybe the last leg up before we go down again. And as you see, only I don't know if that's also part of any data change of CryptoQuant, because that's surprising me. A lot of stablecoin outflows indicating they are selling, but no big inflows coming in. And that's really usually very uncommon, because you remember I have mentioned many times the inflows and the outflows correlates, because the outflows is indicating someone, or traders are selling at the same time someone is buying. Not happening. And I would be very careful with these inflows because, in my opinion, I'm not sure if they played out here in that candle here. I'm really not sure. And that's it. Let us go forward. So, funding rate indicating a huge demand for shorts, and afterwards it lifted up. Now it's declining. As we see, oh, maybe I should refresh the site. Why it's not refreshing? It should refresh automatically. Maybe another change that CryptoQuant did. Wow, yeah, now it looks absolutely different. Oh, yes. Okay, what we see now is the funding rate declined a lot, indicating a bigger demand for shorts, and afterwards it lifted up like crazy, indicating much more demand for longs. It maintains very high, it's not declining, so usually that would indicate us no big demand for shorts coming in. Leverage ratio, as we see, declined, and even open interest like a stair here and then lifted up, but yeah, nothing big here. What we see, and that's really big, 180 million stablecoin outflows from derivative exchanges, and at the same time, within 2 hours, 300 millions in stablecoins to derivative exchanges. That's really big, really big. While the funding rate is lifting up, that's crazy. And at the same time, finally, some big inflows coming in, also related to bitcoins and derivative exchanges. We have here almost 10,000 bitcoins, and at the same time, let me see, we did here 355, yeah, and at the same time 10,000 outflow. So it seems here 3,000. Oh, well, a little bit more than 12,000. So we still have a gap of 3,000 bitcoins, at least it it seems. Let us go forward and check what's happening here. I think I need to refresh here everything. Wow, shorts coming in back, as you see. So shorts coming in 1.3.6. Well, 1,365,000,000 versus 1,418,000,000, indicating it's almost neutral. So 51 to 49, that's absolutely okay. Not bullish, not bearish. On Ethereum, as usual, much more bearish than bullish. I would be extremely, extremely careful. Even we can have a little correction to the downside before we go up even more. In my opinion, because many are expecting 24K is the top. That's it. We will go down. Of course, it will match to some expectations of option traders since yesterday, as you remember. No sharp move, and so on and so forth. I mean, sharp for them, it's not from 23 to 24. It will be much more, of course. But and that's it. Let us check what the Kingfisher is showing us. And we will check Binance first. It takes a little bit, as usual. Meanwhile, I can check what the price is doing. It's declining, of course. Not big. I'm not expecting a big, big, big decline, to be honest. Even this candle, to be honest, usually after such a candle, it should go down, right straight down, because it was exaggerated. Like I mentioned, close before they released the data. So what we see here is a huge, that's really, well, I mean, it looks huge, but 40 millions is the max, so it's not that big, but at least compared to everything else, that's a big part. Looks like big liquidation cluster at 34K indicating shorts with low leverage, and it looks absolutely different to the long side. If we check the long side, we can see here we have much more volume, at least on the long side, and but close to the price. I mean, that would be the next one, and taking into account the scale here, it's absolutely not big at all. So it looks very neutral, to be honest. We need to create here some FOMO, some fear, something um, to bring some new positions here, it seems. Let us check FTX. FTX is doing, as usual, very interesting things. We will talk about that, of course. Now they are liquidating the first longs, of course, on related to Ethereum, it seems, and Bitcoins. Yeah, here, for example, Bitcoin. So if we check that here, it matches very well, almost the same liquidation volume, 40 millions on Binance and 35 on FTX. That's crazy. I mean, that's really crazy. Shorts looking okay, longs looking yummy. I mean, usually the market should go in that direction next just to liquidate, at least until here, because we don't have big liquidation clusters on the short side, but we know how the market works. So let us go forward. So what we will see, I think a new BART is borning here at the moment. It looks like so. It wouldn't surprise me if we will maintain even until tonight a little bit this uh, castle built on thin air, I would say, because look there, that's really crazy. But I was really expecting that because I knew even if the CPI is going to be only neutral, only you know what the what the Office for Statistics were expecting and forecasted, even then the markets will pump like crazy, only in case the inflation were much higher than expected. But yeah, it played out very well. And usually, if you see such kinds of price action, you know exactly the price will go down again. And it matches very well because today is Wednesday. We have tomorrow Thursday, so we can even go much higher to 25, for example, and then Thursday to Friday dump to 23 again, in case they want, for example, to maintain the max pain of 23K. So the market maker could have an interest to push the price down back to 23K. Maybe the luck up will happen in the weekend instead, and we will maintain right now 24K, maybe go a little bit more up to collect some longs, and then go down afterwards. So that would be my expectations. Also interesting what FTX did here. Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. But let us just use look that. I mean, that's so crazy. And always that happens. If they push very aggressive to the upside, you know exactly it's going to come down again. And that's what it does. So, yeah, let us check what's happening here. We will see, and that's the first thing. For example, that it's very interesting is that Bitcoin collateral futures are lifting up. Not big, absolutely not, but that could indicate that they are selling, and they are selling. I mean, FTX are in distribution mode, not since yesterday. And even if we check here the aggregated, look the aggregated. So Coinbase, Binance, Famex, Bitfinex, everyone is here. We know that Coinbase, we need to check right now, but Coinbase should be on the buyer side, at least related to CBDs. Let us check. That's Binance. You see that Binance is clearly distributing, absolutely clearly distributing um, from almost 8,000 negative CBD, and we know, hopefully know, what the CBD means, what it's indicating you. It's a trend indicator, a nice one to be honest, but it's also indicating what they are doing. Well, as mentioned, Coinbase, I mean, right now it seems they are selling, they are really selling. That's wow. But however, the trend is very clear up, 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 up. So their CBD maintains very positive. We have here Bitfinex spot, and if we check Bitfinex, what is Bitfinex doing? Exactly the same like FTX, distributing. Usually, I would say that could be the local top, 24K. But I don't like that, to be honest, because I would like to see that it reached and retest the upper trend line. So, and then we have Perp, Binance Future Perp, and we can check what they are doing. No, I said 30 minutes, so make 30 minutes. And we see what happened here. So open interest is coming back with longs while the funding rate is lifting up. It declined a lot. They took profit here. At least it would match also to the big stablecoin outflows related to derivative exchanges, and that's absolutely it. Let us check here what. Oh, look, look, look. Okay, they are shorting with bitcoins. Hmm, that's interesting. But at the moment, not useful. Let us go forward. So, the market maker, once again, just few hours before the big nuke, well, it wasn't a big nuke, but the dump, 3,400 bitcoins. We will check what he is doing. And in my opinion, I nailed it once and I think I'm going to nail it again. He is doing something that we know. He did that here. He did that here. Every time close before we dumped, he did that here. He raised his balances. Down, 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 down. And he was always the main driver, or at least maybe not the main driver, but one of the main actors. And he is doing it again. I mean, from 4,920 to right now 4,950 means a gap of 30,000 bitcoins. He reduced. That makes sense because he was, at least it seems, also responsible for the last fake rally. And if he starts to decline afterwards again to 4,920 or even more, like we had in the past, because that's what he did in the past. He raised his balances and declined even more afterwards. So be very careful in the next few days. These guys declining imbalances. These guys lifting up imbalances. Nothing big. Almost 10,000. Not even. These guys declining. So even shrimps are declining. And these guys stabilizing. So retailers are not really buying anymore, it seems. Or at least they didn't withdraw from the exchanges yet. And that's it. We go to the next chapter. So based on the exchange walls here, you can see that Coinbase, it seems, doesn't have any big interest to let the price go up much more, at least not hitting 20 above of 28k. What we see is that he's also forming here a new exchange wall at 25,400, and he maintains the wall at 25k. Also, we can see here that they are pushing more to the downside than to the upside. So we can go down, for example, to 23,400 and then go up again, maybe to 25. That will be a crazy bull trap, in my opinion, because 24,700, but that will be extremely extremely dangerous for bulls, and then go down. But something we need to see. Deribit perp limiting the way down at 23,500. Wow, I mean, 28. Remove the wall at 26.5. So 28 could be on the table. I mean, Deribit is not the biggest exchange now, but nothing on Bitstamp, Binance Spot. Here, my key level of 24,700. Let us check what's happening here. Still here at 19k waiting with bigger liquidity. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. At least here, nothing big. Also here indicating they are maintaining the price. I mean, they bought here a lot. They need to distribute now. And that's why I think we will maintain that price for a little bit. However, I think if you check such kind of candle, that's going to go back to the downside. Like on SPX, like on SPY, that's not going to end here and go even more up. That's not going to happen, in my opinion. But we will see. Bitfinex spot. Nothing. And the next bigger wall would be at 21, but here absolutely nothing. They removed even the wall at 25. FTX perp. Look at what they are doing. It's pure algos, 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 algos. And sometimes I think you are trading against the computer all the time. So also here they are just maintaining the price. Right now they don't want to let the price go up. It's pure algos, algos, algos. 25, and here doing the same like Coinbase. 1, 2, 3. Kraken spot. Well, that's I think also some algo things. 25,400 and 22. So here nothing has changed. Bitmax. So let us see what's happening here. That's Bitmax still here limiting at 25. They removed the wall at 20k. Of course, also here at 28. So even if we go up 25k, um, I mean, just based on exchange walls, 28k would be possible. Binance futures. Jesus, look that. I mean, that's going to be hard to go up, but not impossible. However, they are at the moment waiting at 21k as well. Matches to the different option trades. Bitfinex derivatives. 23, 22, 500, and nothing big. I mean, look that. They removed everything above of 27. Everything. I would say they are not expecting to go up more than 27, and they are still here waiting at 20,700. So 21 would make sense. Kraken futures, nothing. FTX spot, what the hell is that here? What is that? Do you think someone is sitting in front of his screen and making some orders? I'm not sure if that's maybe a data problem. I hope so, because otherwise it's so obvious. I guess I can send that to the SEC and can become billionaire because they give you nice rewards for markets manipulation. Ah, that's crazy. That's really crazy. A lot of orders to the downside, also on the upside, but more to the downside and waiting here at 25,400. So it maintains possible to go up because this wall is not that old, and they are expecting also a move to the upside. So would match very well to my expectations to the leg up. The question is leg up until Friday morning because then we have the max pain, then we have the expiry on option trading, and the big question is, are we going to maintain that level, go a little bit more down, and then push up to 25 200, 25 400, and then go down to 21k, or maybe first 21k or 22k and then up? That's something we need to see. I really don't know. So, yeah, let us go forward.